LCX, really? Finally? Yes, finally, some LCX. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Let's jump into some LCXZ, Liechtenstein Exchange. Oh, I hate it when you say that voice, Max. I cannot stand it when you do that voice. Yeah, well, what can I say? All right. So this guy, Francesco, says every year, regardless of the market situation, the blockchain industry continues to gain popularity on a large scale. However, in most cases, the moments in which we talk about it most are those related to big frauds. Example, what? The FTX case, right? Absolutely. This whole concept of, elected officials in Congress, like, for instance, Elizabeth Warren basically wanting to ban crypto. Okay. It's like, yeah, the FTX situation was a bad thing, right? Sam Bankman-Fried is a bad dude. But, I didn't see people giving up on stocks after, Bernie Madoff, right? Was people looking to ban stocks for Bernie Madoff? No, of course not. It's called, there's bad players. You're not going to go punish the innovators or solid, blockchain projects and so on. It's absolutely ludicrous, right? So in this particular thread, this guy has some examples I want to get into that's pretty good. So he says, basically speaking, that, take for example the FTX case. Many take it for granted that Binance today is the best solution for holding their digital assets. But did you know that Binance used to be a joint venture with LCX? And if you guys remember, we had, maybe he's watching right now, I don't know. Shout out to Rue Black. We probably should get him back on the show, but he mentioned this. He pointed out when we had him on a guest on the show. So that's what this guy's talking about, right? So shout out to Rue. But yeah, they had a joint venture with LCX. And it says, but after a while, they became detached. They had like some disagreements and so on. And here remains only LCX that has decided to do things right from day zero, right? Or we should say day one. And to get further into this, he says, to align its products and services with one of the most robust regulatory frameworks you can rely on today, which is LCX. This is why I feel as though, they are such a big player in the future. You better believe that once we get that clarity, you will have like the BlackRocks of the world and so on work with LCX, right? And the way I look at it is, I'm so glad to be able to finally have held LCX. Came in a little bit late compared to some of the other guys that came in at 2 cents and so on. But I'm not sweating it, And on top of that, look at what it says here. Liechtenstein Crypto Exchange, Liechtenstein Crypto Exchange, I've said it twice, was founded in 2018 and is headquartered in Vaduz, Liechtenstein. As the name suggests, it is a cryptocurrency exchange developed with the idea of attracting institutional investors to a regulated platform, hence like the BlackRocks of the world and so on. Look at this part. And, this guy posted this about 9 hours ago. So, it is good stuff. At least I think so. It says, with already 8 licenses approved by the Financial Market Authority, FMA, under the Blockchain Act and awards from the Blockchain Research Institute, LCX operates and offers its services within the existing regulatory framework of the Liechtenstein Blockchain Act, FMA of Liechtenstein. When we get further into this, it says, in addition to being a highly regulated exchange, LCX offers products and services such as the custody of digital assets, CeFi and DeFi terminal to aggregate all exchanges hosted on their platform, smart orders and others, for instance, right? The digital asset revolution. The future will be tokenized. How do we know that? You already saw, the tokenization of diamonds. You saw Leo X, the recent thing, the tokenization of movie tickets and concert tickets. Anything that can be tokenized of value is going to be tokenized here in the future. Products and services, on-chain bonds. On-chain bonds have the ability to revolutionize financial capital markets. How? All right. Some people ask that. How? Well, like it says, developing a market of unique digital assets. With the use of blockchain for securities, there will be no intermediaries currently present in a bond transaction. A little bit more about this. By 2027, more than 8 trillion will be stored on blockchain networks. The World Economic Forum said that LCX is building the infrastructure for the new financial world. On top of this, if you don't know how, how big this is in regards to this, the World Economic, if you don't know how big this is in regards to the connection with the World Economic Forum, you can comprehend this, right? So we're going to blow this up. And if anything, I'm going to blow this up a little bit more. This guy just kind of had it worded weird. And it's okay. It's not his main language. So as you can see right here, look at some of these big players that they're with, right? That is nothing to bat an eye at. Some big names: Finastra, Fannie Mae, the Deutsche Bank, Consensus, Bank of England, Citigroup, right? Credit Suisse. Some people call it Credit Suisse. Santander that we talked about earlier. Fidelity, right? With mutual funds and so on. BlackRock, obviously, is a big one. Bank of International Settlements, for crying out loud. Bank of International Settlements is literally the central bank of the central banks. 95%. It was the report the other day. Of custody that they hold in assets for the what was that report? I forgot the exact figures, but you get where I'm going with this. It was pretty massive what they got going on. HSBC, BNY Mellon. I mean, we could go on and on about this stuff, right? Yeah, pretty big stuff. The World Bank, Standard Chartered, R3, massive stuff. All right, a tad bit more of what we have. How about this? LCX Earn. We talked about this a little bit. Why is it important? Well, like it says, Earn offers fixed yield, regulatory compliant tokenized bonds such as the Euro T7 with a 7% annual return on Euro investments, backed by a reputable platform and available to verified users in 30 EEA countries. It's not available to us, but that's a big thing for Europe. How about Token Sale Manager? Were some people aware of this? Some of you guys were, right? We talked about Galileo protocol earlier. Token Sale Manager, fully compliant token issuance solution combining all legal and technology aspects from smart contract development, token sale, legal documents, registration at regulator, investor onboarding, and KYC, VIP investor support, private or public token sale. Cool stuff. LCX has consistently prioritized regulatory compliance at a time when the crypto industry is moving into the mainstream. And we have seen it go more mainstream lately. There's some big players that are coming into the mix. It says, we like their approach and feel they set a good standard for the Galileo protocol team. Said, of course, Team Galileo. Galileo protocol, right? LeoX. As we know, is the first QRC 721 and QRC 20 token provided from Quant. It is a Web3 protocol designed to build the infrastructure layer in the Omniverse to connect digital and physical assets on the blockchain through Web3 tokenization service, aka LeoX on LCX. All right, a little bit more in regards to this. The LCX token was issued by LCX AG in full compliance with applicable laws and regulations in Liechtenstein. According to the legal evaluation performed by qualified law firms, LCX token can be legally classified as a utility token under U.S., Singapore, European, and even Liechtenstein rules, guidelines, and laws, and so on, services. Understanding the tokenomics. Let's go further into this. The initial total supply of LCX, if you may know this, may not, was basically 1 billion. Now it is 950 million tokens. This is because LCX conducted 5 token burns during 2019 and 2020. Were you aware of that? Burning a total of 50 million tokens, and now the large majority of LCX tokens are held by who? The community. Interesting stuff, right? But there's more. There's partnerships, quite a few. Obviously, Quant is big. But, LCX has chosen to build partnerships with compliant companies and institutions that believe that they believe will provide real utility with their network. Some of these key partnerships include, like we mentioned, Quant, right? Asset conversion and payment processor. You may have Constellation, DAG. At some point, man, I got to really get into DAG. I mean, I feel like, I'm going to miss the boat if I don't get into DAG. So I just want to throw that out there. But yeah, with DAG, right? On-chain data exchange solutions, even Chainlink, for crying out loud. Some of you guys are still into Chainlink. Some of you guys maybe got out of it, but Chainlink is a good project. Don't get me wrong. Like it says, most use blockchain Oracle. How about Icon, right? I'm not even aware of Icon. Tokenized assets on the Icon network. Are any of you guys into Icon? Let us know. Why do you want, why do you hold Icon? Well, obviously, more than just tokenized assets, but what makes them shine? What does it for you? We've briefly talked about Cello here. We don't talk about it enough, but that is a pretty darn good project. So Cello Foundation Alliance member. Hedera Hashgraph, Hedera is, like probably ranked my number 6 overall in my top 10. Using LCX's Liechtenstein protocol, Hedera Hashgraph aims to build an infrastructure for digital and tokenized securities. I mean, it just keeps impressing, right? I know this is kind of like a deep dive thread, but there's some things I think for the most part that are listed here that not everybody knows about. How about this? Even Polkadot. We know that they're a layer 0. This is a key partnership. They're a layer 0 ecosystem, permissionless and scalable. It says every project must have an innovative idea, but it takes a strong team to bring that idea into reality. LCX has both a brilliant idea and a team of like-minded professionals who are dedicated to building a sustainable ecosystem. And we know, of course, Monty Metzger is the CEO. And he, of course, he's the founder of LCX. All right. There's just maybe a few more things I want to show you guys here. And that is basically this. In June of 2008, Monty began his entrepreneurial career by founding and becoming CEO of his startup Ahead of Times. In 2012, Monty joined Digital Leader Ventures as president, where he initially came up with the idea to start LCX, most recently in January of 2019. I mean, I like Monty Metzger, to be honest. He inspires me. I too am an entrepreneur. For my MBA, I have an entrepreneurship emphasis. And so when I see people like him, I'm like, man, this guy really took it to the next level. It's very impressive. All right, a little bit more in regards to Monty, just real quick. Monty and LCX joined the World Economic Forum to develop the foundation of the fourth industrial revolution. You hear Richard Common Sense Crypto, he always mentions, the fourth industrial revolution, right? LCX has secured several high-profile consultants, including Don Tapscott. We report that in a video in the record section not that long ago. I think Don Tapscott joined the team. That was absolutely big. I don't know if you guys have seen the interview, or not the interview, the presentation, the speech, I guess you could say, / presentation that he gave at a TED Talk, where he was talking about the use cases for various different altcoins like blockchain technology. That interview was very, very powerful. That was from roughly about 2 or 3 years ago. And to have somebody like, Don Tapscott being part of the LCX team, that is just, another notch in their belt, right? He's a key player. But yeah, he's a leading authority on blockchain and author of the bestseller Blockchain Revolution. And it says Jimmy Wales, founder of Wikipedia. I mean, you even have Dr. Shoujing Zhang, professor in the departments of physics. These are all very, very impressive people that are part of LCX, right? And look, we're always trying to connect the dots or draw the lines to people. Literally, you have it right in front of you, right? So you have, for instance, Plamen Rusev. His connection is to the European Commission. This person, Yat Sui, connected to the World Economic Forum. This other one I'm not really familiar with. There are even some UN connections, right, with David Mickelson. You have Plamen Rusev with Bloomberg, even in connection with Apple. But the key thing is all these particular connections. I don't like necessarily seeing like Celsius there, but you got to keep in mind not all the guys from Celsius are bad players, which is true. Don Tapscott, obviously, Blockchain Research Institute, Some of these BlackRock ties to David Mickelson. So I mean, these guys have connections. That's the bottom line. Big connections. All right, there's just a little bit more. I know this is quite the deep dive, but we haven't done anything on LCX in a while, and that's why I want to get into some of this stuff. All right, Mario Frick, former minister of the Principality of Liechtenstein, Yatsui, founder and CEO of Outblaze, Miko Matsumura, co-founder of Evercoin, venture partner of BitBull Ventures, investor of Pantera Capital. We saw this before, it says goodbye Goldman, right? New era LCX, crypto offerings done right, leading blockchain innovator based in Liechtenstein. All right. How about this just for a brief moment? Timons. We talked about Timons in the past, but this is one of the key ones that shines for LCX. Timons is the largest blockchain powered marketplace for diamonds and NFTs worldwide. Yeah, how cool is that? The tokenization of diamonds. Users can easily buy, trade, and hold non-fungible tokens, NFTs, which are fully asset-backed by real-world diamonds. I mean, how cool is it to be able to, mint an NFT, and then it's actually tied to real-world diamonds? This is just another perfect example of you are having precious gems and jewels being tokenized. We saw, for instance, another particular project, right? Comtech Gold with XDC, right? These things, they're becoming very, very, they're going big, right? It's becoming like a big deal. All diamonds are physically stored in a high security vault in Liechtenstein. It's pretty impressive stuff, to say the least. At least I think so. So glad to share that with you guys. I know it's quite the deep dive in regards to LCX. And some of you guys knew most about this stuff. But for the newcomers, man, if I was new and I saw some of this stuff, I would want to learn more about Liechtenstein. And if you're wondering, if you are one of those newcomers, check this out. Let me show this to you real quick. So we're going to share this. This is from CMC. This is in regards to Liechtenstein Exchange. If you're wondering, where can you get this? You can get it off of a few exchanges. Coinbase, Kraken. You can get it off of Uniswap. You can get it off of, obviously, the Liechtenstein Exchange, right? And it has a bunch of different pairings, Quant with LCX, Chainlink with LCX, Cello, Avalanche, Litecoin, Constellation DAG. I mean, there's quite a few, right? But they're here, even Dogecoin. Are you kidding me? All right. And then on top of that, I believe you can also get it off of, I was going to say you can get it off of KuCoin. You can't get it off of KuCoin. That's right. I had to go with Coinbase to get this. Forgot about that. All right. So, but yeah, I mean, those are the ones that definitely stand out. All right. Regulated, audited, secured, next generation crypto exchange. 111,000 followers. So pretty impressive stuff.